of people want to know why the weather works the way that it does in the Panhandle. You know, it changes every day, constantly.
It does.
I think the meteorologists here are some of the best in the country, just because you guys have to work with everything.
And that's why our jobs are coveted by a lot of folks, because we get to experience a lot of weather. One of the questions we had today on the Facebook page, what is El Nino? This comes from Juanita Haney. Juanita, thank you for the question. What it is, take a look at this weather graphic here. It's an abnormal warming of the waters off the Pacific coast of Central and South America. Happens during the fall and winter, and how it affects our weather is we end up with more snow and more rain than we normally would. This is again the picture of the globe. The red, orange there is warmer than normal water, and this causes storm systems to run into New Mexico, Arizona, and West Texas, dump a lot of snow, a lot of rain. And well, La Nina is just the opposite. That's when the waters are colder than they should be. That causes drought, which is what we had last year. So, by the way, the forecast for this upcoming winter is maybe a weak El Nino. Perfect. That could give us more rain and snow for next winter. So thank you, Juanita, for your question about El Nino and how it works.
Interesting. Nice.
Well, the next one is, as you related to, why is it so difficult to predict the weather here? Andy Newby. Andy, thank you for your question. The reason why it's so difficult, we live in a part of the United States. We have the Gulf of Mexico moisture southeast of us, dry air from the west, cold air coming from Canada, and it's just like trying to bake a cake. If you put too much of one ingredient in that cake, it's either going to taste really nasty or not bake right or whatever.
Right.
And so trying to make a forecast with all these ingredients is really tough, because if one is a little more than the other, it either snows or it doesn't, or it's sunnier than it should be, or it's not. And that's why our little part of the nation is really tough to predict the weather. It's a little bit easier if you live in Ohio, Michigan, places like that where you don't have quite all those ingredients in the same mix that we do.
Okay, makes sense.
It really does, but it does make our job tough.
A little bit difficult.
Relates to the next one. What are the requirements for a meteorological degree? This is from Suzanne Wright. Suzanne, thank you for your question. A lot of math. I was shocked at the amount of math that's involved in a meteorology degree. A lot of calculus, advanced calculus. You have to take physics, chemistry, biology. They make you take everything because weather affects everything. She also asked, where did you get your degree? My degree is from Texas A&M. They used to be the only school in Texas that offered a meteorology degree. Now Texas Tech has an undergraduate degree. They've had a master's degree for a long time, but if a lot of kids around here go to OU, meteorologist Brian James is a proud graduate of their program, and Shelley Sides graduated from Ball State. They too have a meteorology program.
A very difficult degree too, with all of the, I mean, because it does take a lot of math to figure how these storms are going to work.
There's motion, there's just a lot of equations that go into making the computer models that we use.
Yeah.
So absolutely. And the last one is, why is it so windy when an area of low pressure moves by to our north? Kyle Brooks, Kyle also apparently Aggie, he said gig. I left that off the question there. The reason why it's so windy, Kyle, is wind is caused by areas of low and high pressure that are close to each other. And when you have an area of low pressure that moves by to our north, it's kind of like someone turning on a vacuum cleaner. Low pressure is air that rises up. High pressure is air that sinks. So when an area of low pressure moves by to our north and really gets deep in the atmosphere, those winds from the south and southwest just crank up. Now again, this is expected to happen on Monday and Tuesday now instead of Sunday. But you'll notice the difference, and watch your barometers at home and watch the barometric pressure just plummet. And strong winds happen when the pressure either drops quickly or rises quickly. That's when it gets windy.
Well, don't forget, you are going to ask for questions starting on Thursdays.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday, he will try to answer those for you on Friday. Steve, thank you so much.
You bet. That was
very informative.
A lot of fun.
Well, I guess we stumped him with our McCafe quiz this morning, so we're going to repeat the question.
Okay.
Which amendment was added to the Constitution in 1974?
Yep, and go 373-1787 extension 243 is the number to call if you know the answer.
All right, give us a call. You can get that coffee, and we've got Gold's Gym coming up next, so don't go away.
Okay, all right.